What if time didn't just pass, but it hunted you down? What if memory wasn't a gift, but a curse etched into every inch of a decaying empire? And what if beauty, real beauty, came with a gut punch that will leave you gasping for air and wanting so much more? Clair Obscur Expedition 33 just isn't a game. It's a confrontation, a playable mural torn from some forgotten museum of grief, of obsession and strategy, and it has no interest in holding your hand. In this video I'm diving into Clair Obscur as it hits like an opera performed with a bayonet, revealed the emotionally intelligent, narratively disciplined and mechanically bold game that grows its world around you and challenges your very gaming perceptions. Here's the real kicker. It does all this without ever over-explaining itself. So, let's go. Sandfall Interactive is a small studio out of Montpellier in France, and they pulled off something most AAA devs can only fake: sincerity. They promised a game of depth, tactical richness, and visual splendor, and they delivered something stranger and more original: a storybook filtered through ash and acrylic, where every design choice bleeds purpose. While Destiny game dev Bungie scrambles to patch story gaps and fetch thin content into seasonal arcs, Sandfall, just over 30 core devs, built a world with a memory of its own. They channel influences like Final Fantasy X, Dark Souls, and Nier, but twist those into something singular. It's turn-based, yeah. But if you're thinking slow menus and dull grind, you can think again. This is turn-based combat reimagined as pure choreography. A performance where every move is a brush stroke and every dodge a dance step. You fail to react, you don't just take damage, you break the rhythm. I'm going to take a second out here, and if you like these kinds of lore games and narrative videos, please subscribe to my channel, as it helps me make more of these kinds of videos and life gets a little easier too. Now, let's get into the world of Lumiere. The world of Lumiere is post-apocalyptic, but not in an usual way. It's not rust and ruin, it's faded decadence, Art Nouveau in decay. Think of Paris as imagined by someone who's never really been there, but dreamed of it every night through nightmare and fevered reality. The starting district is a monument to forgotten culture, operatic buildings, masks of joy over sorrow, and an undercurrent of existential dread. The central mystery is haunting. Every year, a new number is painted into reality by the paintress, a godlike figure who erases every single living person whose age matches it. You are part of Expedition 33, a band of survivors determined to end this curse before your number is up. It's poetic, but grounded in real stakes. The narrative isn't just personal, it's collective. Everyone has skin in the game. NPCs. These are never puking exposition machines. They speak in hints, reactions, stories, and wounds. You piece together your understanding of the world through street musicians, fragmented diaries, and whispered regret. The world doesn't explain itself. It expects you to observe, interpret, and most of all, care. You will laugh to the dialogue, you will cry at the decisions you have to take towards especially the end of Act 3, and you will miss the characters when you put down the game. This is a game that leaves a mark on you. Minoko and Eske, a delightfully odd couple steal every scene they're in. Minoko, an almost feverish savant with a mind for violence as meditation, and Eske, an empathic wine holder with a deep secret built into him. They don't just provide comedic relief, they reflect the emotional fractures of the world itself. If you're looking for inspiration and callbacks, you can look at other games like Echoes of Amelie, The Little Prince, Bioshock Infinite, and the haunting surrealism maybe of a Disco Elysium. But again, this world belongs to itself. Something fun I learned while reading about Sandfall Interactive is that their studio dog is called Minoko, and you can find a hidden room of dog Minokos in the mansion itself. Combat is turn-based, but reactive. You don't just watch the enemy's turn, you engage with it. You can dodge incoming attacks in real time, creating this kind of a push-pull tension between traditional RPG tactics and action reflexes. But learning to slip into the audio rhythm of parrying is really where you get the most satisfaction. This will change from boss to enemy, but when you find that flow, you can reply with a timed parry that will do some hefty damage and help you out a lot and make you feel so good for pulling it off. Each party member has a unique skill tree, passive effects, and active combos that reward synergy in planning. You're constantly adjusting. Do you burn a skill now for a burst damage? Do you save it and counter for an upcoming boss phase? These are questions that matter, especially on harder difficulties. Who's on support for this trio, and will you still use your Verso machine gun build, ripping the main damage chunks? Decisions. There are no filler systems. Everything from gear upgrades to dialogue choices ties back to the central themes: memory, identity, inevitability, and more than anything else, grief. Even optional side quests often reveal hidden layers of the world that give extra context to key figures or histories. The side quests are just as rich as the main quest itself, and it will always be clear to you where you should be going next, but you can easily jump out and explore with SK in Act 2 whenever you want, or fly with SK in Act 3. That's not really a spoiler. For once, aura farming is not the goal. Everyone is broken, and you are not the chosen one. You are not a savior. You are someone desperately trying to outrun a number. Expedition 33 gives you a name, a voice, and a past, but doesn't define your morality. Your actions shape how the world sees you and how you interpret your own role within it. It's intimate. You build bonds with your party, not through cutscenes, but through presence, traveling, fighting, listening, talking to each other. You are part of the collective trauma, and the decisions you make, who to trust, what to sacrifice, which memories to hold on to, will stay with you long after you log out. There's a boss fight late in Act 1 that blends poetry with madness. The boss speaks in reverse French, summons floating paint shards, and focuses you to dodge rhythmically timed pulses mid-turn. It should be too much. Really, it should. But it works. But you know why it works? Because it's earned. The world already primed you for this kind of surreal logic. So when it arrives, it feels like prophecy, not just random chaos. There's another moment, no spoilers, involving a mechanical opera performance that breaks the fourth wall in a way that is both heartwarming and awe-inspiring. And that's not the only one. What lingers is the tone. Not just the melancholy, but the creative conviction. Sandfall dared to create a world where beauty is not just aesthetic, it's narrative. Where time isn't just a mechanic, but a villain. Where gameplay and story don't just coexist, they collide. You'll remember the characters Yes, the art direction absolutely, but mostly you remember how you felt when you realised the game wasn't trying to entertain you or make you spend money on something. It was trying to teach you something about endings, about coexisting with grief. All done so well with the beautifully worded characters, the voice, everything blends. Sandfall Interactive is just a new studio, but many of its core devs cut their teeth on Ubisoft and other AAA houses. Creative director Guillaume Bruch grew up with Final Fantasy, Persona, and Baldur's Gate, and you can see like the indelible fingerprints of those here. But imagine through a French cultural lens and a painterly obsession with detail. They operate like a boutique atelier, not a content mill. No bloated content maps, no roadmaps promising seasonal drops, just a fully formed, uncompromising world they poured everything into. And it so shows. This and these are the people that should be making games. This is the kind of game that I want and I would love to play more of. Long may we get more of these kind of games.
Wow, this has just been such a pleasure. I'm such a lucky boy. I can't wait to go home